Hello and welcome back to my kitchen. and أهلا بالناس اللي كتبوا لي بالعربي. شكرا جدا للكلام الحلو اللي كتبتوا لي إياه. وإن شاء الله يعجبكم الفيديوهات اللي راح تجي. That was just a wee shout out to the people who commented on my videos in Arabic, which was very sweet and very supportive, and I really appreciated it. Anyway, moving on. So in today's video, I am bringing you part 3 of the mini marga series. And today is going to be another tomato-based marga, so similarly to the okra one, but this time I'm going to make marga فاصولية خضرة, which is green bean stew basically. And actually we have 2 margas that are called marga فاصولية. This one, which is obviously the green bean one, and then we have marga فاصولية يابسة, which is a white bean stew, which I actually filmed, and that was supposed to be part 3 of this marga series, but for some reason it didn't come out as good as when we normally make it. So I thought, you know what, I'm not showing you one that's not up to standard, so I'm coming at you with the green bean one, and hopefully take 2 works. So the ingredients for the marga فاصولية or green bean stew are, of course, the main star, the green beans. I've got, I would say to use 4 tomatoes if you are going to use your own and blend them up. I'm just using 3 because these ones were quite large, which I'm obviously going to blitz up in my little mini chopper. But of course you could use a tin of chopped tomatoes. I've got 1 onion, 2 garlic cloves, tomato paste, which I'll probably use about a tablespoon or so of, salt and olive oil, of course. And yeah, so I've just finely chopped my onion and my garlic. Of course you can use a little like garlic mincer thing if you've got it, but I just don't really like using them. I feel like you lose a bit of the garlic, so I'll just do it this way. But if it really bothers you getting the stickiness and smell of garlic on your hands, you might not want to do it that way. And I've also blended up my tomatoes. Of course, as I've said before, you can use a tin of chopped tomatoes, but that's that. I've turned on my cooker. It's on high heat, number 6. I'm just letting it heat up. It's been about like a minute maybe, so I'm just going to add in a couple tablespoons of the old olive oil here. My mum's meeting seems to be getting a little bit heated. Right, just let that oil heat up a wee bit. That's fine, to be honest. Sizzle. Okay. I'm just putting the onions in just now, not the garlic yet. Like I said, it's on a high heat, so I'm just gonna stir it continuously so that the onion doesn't burn. Right, while that's in there, in my unorganized fashion, I didn't let the green beans defrost for very long, but that's fine. It just means that I'll obviously be cooking them for a little bit longer. And they are pre-cut, and this is about the size. Most of the green beans are around this size, but some of them are a little bit longer and bigger still. So I'm gonna find those wee ones and just chop them up. Like this, for example, I don't want this kind of size because it's just, it's not uniform with everything else. As if I'm like some kind of perfectionist anyway, which I really am not, but I don't want them to be, one super long, one super short. So I'm just gonna chop up any that are too long compared to the other ones. Let me give this a wee stir. My onions started to brown a little bit, so I'm just taking them off the heat a wee second, and I'm going to add my garlic in. Okay, I'm just going to, again, just kind of stir that continuously. This time actually continuously and not leave it to do something else, so that nothing burns. If you do get a bag of these kind of frozen green beans that are still quite long, I would suggest chopping them up into, this kind of size that I showed you. I'm just going to add in the green beans just now. Okay, so I've been letting my green beans saute for mixing them kind of occasionally, not like constantly. Yeah, so it's been around 5 minutes or so. So I'm gonna add in my tomatoes now. I would suggest that you try them before you add the tomatoes to make sure they have actually softened up nicely. Right, before that starts bubbling all over me, I'm just gonna take it off the heat just a wee second to mix it up. And as well as the tomatoes, I'm also going to add, I'm gonna start off with a tablespoon of tomato paste, and then later on I'll kind of see if it needs a little more kind of depth of flavour. So let's do that much just now. Scrape that off. And actually also, before I stick it back on the heat, I'm going to add in some seasoning, some salt. Okay, so I'm going to cover it loosely for now. I'm gonna let it boil just for a couple of minutes before I cover it fully and stick it on a simmer for it to cook down. So yeah, that's it. So I probably left that to boil for probably just about 5 minutes or just less. I feel like as well, I think because I'm using fresh tomatoes, I feel like it needs a little bit extra cooking. Maybe that's not actually a thing, but anyway, I let it boil for about 5 minutes. I'm just gonna remove it from the heat for a wee second. Just so that I can give it a gentle little stir. Yeah, that looks good. So far so good, inshallah. So I've just reduced the heat to a simmer, or number 2, covered it fully, and I'm going to leave that to cook for probably around 50 minutes at first, and then I'll check it for seasoning. And in the meantime, I'm gonna make some rice to serve along with it. If you saw the other 2 previous videos, you'll see that I've been making white rice to serve with my marga. But if you're not a white rice person, you could of course replace that for brown rice or quinoa if you're a quinoa person, something like that. So anyway, yeah, but I'm just gonna make some good old white rice. So yeah, we'll be back. Okay. So I was recording for about 5 minutes and it wasn't recording, so I've got my mum behind the camera now to make sure that all systems are go. Anyway, so I let this simmer for around 15 minutes, just still on number 2, and I took off the lid, checked it for seasoning, gave it a gentle stir, and I felt that it was a little bit thin, like kind of light, so I added another tablespoon of tomato paste, and I also tasted it for seasoning, felt that it needed a bit more salt, so added some more salt. Add however much you feel is right for you. And yeah, I've just stuck the heat down to 1, so it's a gentle simmer. It'll be done in just a few minutes. I'm just waiting for my rice to finish cooking, and then I'm gonna serve up, and I will show you when it's done. So with the margat fasoliyah, we come to a close with the mini marga series. Of course, there's loads and loads of margas, but these are just the 3 that I chose to share for this little series. So yeah, as you saw, and if you saw the other 2 videos that I made the margas, they're so simple, so easy to make. We obviously used frozen vegetables, which are really handy and easy. So yeah, super simple, super easy, tasty meals. Right, anyway, that concludes the marga series for now. I really hope you try it and that you enjoy it, and let me know your thoughts if you do watch this video, and thanks a lot.